2 Samuel chapter 21. The Great Famine. There was famine during the reign of David for 3 consecutive years, and David consulted the Lord. The answer was, "There is blood guilt on Saul and his family because he put the Gibeonites to death." The king summoned the Gibeonites and spoke to them. The Gibeonites were not of the people of Israel, but descendants of the Amorites. Although the Israelites had sworn to spare them, Saul had attempted to wipe them out on behalf of the people of Israel and Judah. So David asked the Gibeonites, "What shall I do for you, and how shall I repay you that you may bless the people of the Lord?" The Gibeonites answered him, "Our quarrel with Saul and his family is not over silver or gold, nor is it our task to put any Israelite to death." The king asked again, "Tell me then what I should do for you." They replied, "As for the man who slaughtered us and planned our destruction, so that we would no longer occupy any place in Israel, let 7 of his descendants be handed over to us, so that we may hang them up before the Lord at Gibeon on the mountain of the Lord." To this the king said, "I will surrender them." David spared Merib-Baal, son of Jonathan, Saul's son, because of the oath David and Jonathan took before the Lord. But he took Aramani and Merib-Baal, the 2 sons of Rizpah, daughter of Ai, whom she bore to Saul, and the 5 sons of Merib, daughter of Saul, whom she bore to Adriel, son of Barzillai, the Meholathite. He delivered them into the hands of the Gibeonites, who hanged them on the mountain of the Lord. All 7 of them perished together. They were put to death in the first days of harvest, at the beginning of the barley harvest. Then Rizpah, daughter of Ai, took sackcloth and spread it for herself on the rock, from the beginning of harvest until rain fell on them from the heavens. She did not allow the birds of the air to come on them by day, or the beasts of the field by night. When David was told what Rizpah, Ai's daughter and Saul's concubine, had done, he asked the men of Jabesh Gilead for the bones of Saul and those of his son Jonathan. They had taken them from the wall of Bethshan, where the Philistines had hung them when they killed Saul on Gilboa. So David brought up from there the bones of Saul and his son Jonathan, and the bones of those who had been hanged were gathered up. All of them were buried in the land of Benjamin in Zelah, in the tomb of Kish their father. When all that the king had commanded was done, God had pity on the land. The Philistines waged war again with Israel, and David went down together with his servants to fight against them. When David was already tired, Ishbi-Benob, one of the descendants of the giants, whose spear weighed 300 shekels of bronze, and who had put on a new sword, thought of killing David. But Abishai, son of Zeruiah, came to the king's help, attacking and killing the Philistine. Then David's men swore to him, "You shall not join us any more in battle, lest the lamp of Israel be extinguished." After this, there was more fighting with the Philistines at Gob. There in Sibbecai, the Hushathite slew Saph, one of the descendants of the giants. There was another battle with the Philistines at Gob, where Elhanan, son of Jaare-Oregim, the Bethlehemite, slew Goliath the Gittite, the shaft of whose spear was the size of a weaver's beam. In another encounter at Gath, there was a huge man with 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot, numbering 24 in all. He too was a descendant of the giants. When he taunted Israel, Jonathan, son of David's brother Shimei, slew him. These 4 were descendants of the giants in Gath, and they fell by the hands of David and his guards. 2 Samuel chapter 22, David's song of praise. David sang this song to the Lord on the day the Lord delivered him from all his enemies and from Saul. He said, "The Lord is my rock, my rampart, and my deliverer, my God, my rock, in whom I take refuge. He is my shield and my salvation, my stronghold and my refuge. My Savior, you save me from violence. I call on the Lord who is worthy of praise. He saves me from my enemies. Waters of death surrounded me. Torrents of destruction terrified me. Caught by the cords of the underworld, I was utterly helpless before the snares of death. But I called upon the Lord in my distress. To my God I cried for help, and from his temple he heard my voice. My cry of grief reached his ears. Then the earth reeled and rocked, the foundations of the heavens shook, they trembled in his fury. From his nostrils smoke rose, from his mouth a devouring fire throwing off live embers. He rent the heavens and came down with dark clouds under his feet. He rode on a cherub and flew. He soared on the wings of the wind. He set darkness around him as his tent, gathering of waves and thick clouds. Then from the brightness of his presence flared up fiery embers. From heaven the Lord thundered, the voice of the Most High resounded. He sent out a hail of arrows and scattered them. He flashed forth bolts of lightning and rooted them. The beds of the seas lay uncovered, the foundations of the world were laid bare. At your rebuke, O Lord, at the blast of breath from your nostrils, reaching down from above, he drew me out of the deep water. Too strong for me were my enemies, but he rescued me from my adversaries. They launched their attack in the day of my disaster, but the Lord was my stay. He set me free into an open place. He saved me because he loves me. The Lord rewarded me because of my justice. He blessed me because my hands were spotless. For I have been faithful to the Lord's way, and I did not turn away from him. His ordinances all before me, I have always followed his statutes. I have been upright before him and have kept myself from iniquity. Therefore the Lord recompensed me according to my justice, according to my innocence in his sight. To the faithful you show yourself faithful, to the blameless you show yourself blameless. To the pure you show yourself pure, but to the crooked you show yourself astute. For you raise up the humble, but humiliate the arrogant. O Lord, you are my lamp. O my God, you brighten up my darkness. Yes, with you I can crush an armed band, and by my God I can leap over a wall. This God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is always fulfilled. He is a shield to all who seek refuge in him. There is no other God but the Lord. There is no other rock but our God. This God is my stronghold, and he keeps my path blameless. He has made my feet as swift as those of hinds. He has set me secure on the heights. He trains my hands for war and my arms to bend a bow of bronze. You have given me your shield for protection, and your help has made me great. You have given me wide room for my steps, so that they may never falter. I have pursued my enemies and wiped them out. I did not turn back till I had destroyed them. Thrusting them through, I did not give them time to rise as they fell under my feet. You gave me strength for the battle. You subdued my adversaries beneath me. You put my enemies to flight before me, and I destroyed those who oppressed me. They cried for help, but no one came to save them. They cried to the Lord, but he did not answer them. I pulverized them fine as the dust of the earth. I trampled them like the mud in the streets. You have delivered me from the assault of my people and have made me head over the nations. They came to serve me, a people I had not known. Foreigners approached me, cringing and fawning. At the sound of my voice, they rose to obey. Foreigners lost hearts. They staggered forth from their strongholds. The Lord lives. Praised be my Lord. Exalted be my God, my Savior, the God who granted me vengeance, who subdued the peoples for me. He saved me from my foes. He exalted me from my adversaries and rescued me from men of violence. For this I will extol you, O Lord, among the nations. I will sing praises to your name. You have given your King great victories. You have shown your constant love to your anointed, to David and his descendants forever. Psalm 131. Childlike trust in God. O Lord, my heart is not proud, nor do I expect too much. I am not engrossed in ambitious matters, nor in things too great for me. I have quieted and stilled my soul like a weaned child on its mother's lap. My soul within me is like a weaned child. Hope in the Lord, O Israel, both now and forever. John chapter 5, verse 25 to 47. Truly the hour is coming, and has indeed come, when the dead will hear the voice of the Son of God, and those who hear will live. For the Father has life in himself, and he has given to the Son also to have life in himself. And he has empowered him as well to carry out judgment, for he is the Son of Man. Do not be surprised at this. The hour is coming when all those lying in tombs will hear his voice and come out. Those who have done good shall rise to live, and those who have done evil will rise to be condemned. I can do nothing of myself, and I judge as I am told to judge, and my judgment is just, because I seek not my own will, but the will of him who sent me. Testimonies about Jesus. If I bore witness to myself, my testimony would be worthless. But there is another one who is bearing witness to me, and I know that his testimony is true when he bears witness to me. John also bore witness to the truth when he sent messengers to him, but I do not seek such human testimony. I recall this for you so that you may be saved. John was a burning and shining lamp, and for a while you were willing to enjoy his light. But I have greater evidence than that of John, the works which the Father entrusted to me to carry out. These very works that I do bear witness that the Father has sent me. Thus the Father who sent me bears witness to me. You have never heard his voice, and have never seen his likeness. Then as long as you do not believe his messenger, his word finds no home in you. You search in the scriptures, thinking that in them you will find life. It is these very scriptures that bear witness to me, but you refuse to come to me that you may have life. I am not seeking human praise, but I know you too well. You have no love of God within you. Even though I have come in my Father's name, you do not accept me. But if another comes in his own name, you will accept him. As long as you seek praise from one another instead of seeking the glory coming from the only God, how can you believe? Do not think that I am going to accuse you to the Father. Moses himself, in whom you placed your hope, will accuse you. If you really believed Moses, you would believe me, for he wrote of me. But if you do not believe what he wrote, how will you believe what I say?